So then he gets interrupted because we know that he is going to be facing Grayson Waller. So Grayson does come out and he mocks him first for blaming others for losing instead of just admitting that he wasn't good enough. And LA Knight greets him with like, "Oh, look, it's Kangaroo Jackass." And I was like, that
was hilarious.
That was a good one, LA. I'll give you credit for that. Then Waller talks about how he wants to have an impromptu Grayson Waller effect and asks him what he thinks, why he thinks that he is worthy enough to be in the ring with Roman Reigns. And this is when Grayson should not have said anything because he got literally obliterated. He became like well done steak, okay, in front of our eyes. That's what has happened.
He was cooked.
Yeah, he was cooked. So LA says that the Grayson Waller effect sounds like an STD. And he's like, didn't you get dropped by a Saudi movie star at Crown Jewel? He's like, you're out here asking if I belong in the ring with Roman when you have your $5 haircut ready for school pictures, but looking at you makes me feel that you're not allowed within 50 yards of a school, you creep. And I was like, oh my God.
He was fuming at this.
I know.
You could tell he's like,
I loved that though, because sometimes when this is happening, or I say not even sometimes, I guess most of the time, when someone is just getting handed their ass to them basically by somebody else, they kind of will just be like, okay, like they don't really react. But this was Grayson acknowledging like, no, he's actually pissing me off, which I thought was good because he could have just stood there and act like it didn't bother him. And it's like, no, you need
that's not a heel way.
Yeah. So then he goes on and says that Waller called him out on the internet, which we saw. This is how this whole thing came about, was Waller was mocking him and saying whatever on X. I'm still going to call it Twitter, even though LA called it X. It's like, no. And then he says you can get the boy out of mom's basement, but you can't get the mom's basement out of the boy. And I was like, oh my God. Okay.
He's going in on him.
I know. And he says that Waller gives him big incel energy, but not to worry that he will take out all of his frustrations on him tonight. And then he throws him out of the ring before the match. And I was like, holy moly. I understand that LA Knight is not going to be everybody's favorite and he's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. But when I see things like that, I just am wondering, like, how do you not enjoy him at all? Like, you're not at all. You know?
Dude, he's so captivating. Like, anytime he talks, you just want to listen to what he says. And 9 out of 10 times you hear him, he puts a smile on your face with whatever he says. Like, he's just roasting him and you're just laughing your ass off as this is happening. And he just does it to everybody. And then he just snaps right into it where it's go time. And that's when he throws him out of the ring and all that. Like, it was...
Well, and not even just that. Like, if people want to act like he's not a serious character or something, he literally came out and cut a main event style promo on Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. And then it was a different switch immediately when Grayson came out, but it was like combining both, like the entertainment value that he's so natural at, but then also being serious because he was like, I'm gonna kick your ass, Grayson, you know. So it was like, it wasn't like he was just out there doing like the Rock thing where it's like the Rock is singing and it's like more supposed to be funny than serious, you know. And that's like, so I don't understand how people can have a complaint about it, but I loved this, and I think it's probably one of my favorite segments that he's done since coming up on SmackDown, I would have to say. And I think part of it is because they've worked so much together while they were in NXT, and I feel like you can tell that they're comfortable with one another.
Called him Law Knight.
Yeah, Law Knight. And then also, wasn't it it was Kevin who said, oh, he's from Los Angeles. I get it. Like LA Knight. I'm like, oh my God.